Hello, it is Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, the 18th day of Women's History Month. You just heard the first movement of a work by New York composer Stefania De Kenessey. The title of the piece as a whole is Spontaneous D-Combustion. And yes, the piece starts with a D major chord and ends with a D major chord, of course. This was the first movement entitled Vivace e Giocoso, meaning fast and fun, and I think we can all agree that was very fast and very fun. We have the pleasure of speaking with the composer. Here is Stefania De Kenessey.
That piece originated as a funny kind of project for the pianist Mary Kathleen Ernst, who wound up recording it. She wanted something that could be done both as a whole piece and in individual movements. So my task for the first time in my career was to write something that was that modular, where you could extract things and they would have a coherence completely on their own, and yet at the same time also cohere together when played together. And I'm proud to say that the recording that she produced is now aired on WQXR in New York very regularly. So I often will get texts or emails from various friends saying, "Hey, did you hear your piece on WQXR?" And of course, I don't listen to the radio regularly, so the answer is almost always no, I did not. And they don't tell you in advance if they're going to program it, but it has been programmed regularly. And I'm very proud to say, in spite of my feminist stance, that piece gets programmed on WQXR right next to the big boys. So it's sandwiched in between Bizet and Mendelssohn and Schubert and whoever else. So that also makes me happy to enter the mainstream in that way. Mm-hmm. My name is Stefania De Kenessey, and I'm a New York-based composer. I write classical genres of all sorts, from opera to art song to piano music to chamber works. I was trained at Yale and Princeton universities, and then I spent my career teaching music at the New School. And now I'm freelancing full-time as a composer, which is both an absolute delight and absolutely scary. So it's very, very enjoyable in almost all ways. My style is relatively unusual because it's kind of neoclassical and kind of modern, certainly not what you'd expect from somebody who got their PhD at Princeton studying with Milton Babbitt. So in that sense, I'm fairly unusual. I've always written triadic music, and even Milton Babbitt encouraged me to do so and didn't give me a hard time for it. So I've been kind of an outlier in terms of 20th century or 21st century musical practices, but that has increasingly become the norm. So I'm very happy to have lots and lots of performances now. And I'm composer in residence for 3 groups: the Ariel Rivka Dance Company, the Dal Sogno Chamber Ensemble, and the Accord Treble Choir. All of them all female groups, which is also an important part of my identity. I've labored all my life in an environment which has been 99.999% male, and that is something important to combat. So I'm very, very conscious of trying to do my bit for women and female identifying composers and musicians in a world that frankly has not and continues not to treat them as equals. Which is not right. So I also was the founding president of the International Alliance for Women in Music. So I hope to keep doing some good, both in that political realm and especially through writing beautiful music that people enjoy playing.